Hello, everyone. It is me, Nadeem, Head of Marketing, Digital Search, Best Exchange in Australia. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you have your coffee. I have a very awesome guest. His name is Zac from TraderVids. He's a co-founder of TVI, TraderVids Investments. They have been blowing up recently, doing an amazing job. With over 500% growth in roughly the past 12 months, they have captured a slice of the Australian market in education, being basically education providers, helping beginners, intermediate, and advanced traders in the stock market and crypto of just how to get better, how to learn, and how to get better results. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. Mr. Zac. Here he is.
Hey, good morning, Nadim. Great to be here with you, mate. Thank you for the kind introduction, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to have to work on them. I'm going to make them more like dramatic and we'll improve. So for those that don't know, Digital Surge and TVI kind of started doing a few things behind the scenes together, maybe about 9 months ago, probably 9 months ago. They do, for those who are looking at our emails, a lot of crypto news updates and emails and like that. They were doing those for a while, but that is not even a small percentage of what TVI does. However, before I get into TVI, actually, you know what? Let's briefly touch on TVI first, and then we'll rewind the clock of how you got there. Did you want to just give all the viewers so they understand kind of who's this guy on camera, what TVI does, what you do at TVI, and maybe like a little background story on TVI?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Zac. I am one of 3 founders of TraderVids Investments. We are an investment education company, and we base our company around 5 main pillars. First one being education. That's our main aim, and that's what we really focus on. On top of that, we also provide research, mentorship. Community is a massive aspect of what we do, and also trade signals as well. So they're the 5 main pillars of our business. And we started back in early 2020. I'll go back into that story shortly. But for me, my role is primarily I look after operations, innovation of the business strategy, but also looking after the crypto of the business. So we focus on both stocks, crypto, commodities, NFTs, anything sort of blockchain related. And I'm sort of leading up, I guess you'd say, the blockchain of the business.
That sounds like a lot of things, a lot of exciting things.
It sure is.
Yeah, I have to say before we because I'm very interested in kind of people's backstories, and I'm an entrepreneur through and through, and I like talking to fellow entrepreneurs. I like hearing, what changed, what caused them to start their business, what need did they kind of see in the market, and why they get started. I just have to say before we dig into this kind of backstory, we did a Digital Surge and TVI did a kind of like a collaboration event in Melbourne on a rooftop of some nice place. I don't know.
Sol and Luna.
Sol and Luna. What are the chances of that?
I think
place
it's just called Sol now.
Oh, it's just called Sol.
We got rid of the Luna part.
They got rid of the Luna after the Luna crash. That's great.
Luna sunk and just Sol now.
That's awesome. I have to say, just like I wanted to just my genuine experience with the TVI community, because there was about 50, 60 people there from the TVI community and a few people from Digital Surge as well. Every single person I met from the TVI community were all in on crypto, whether it was NFTs, whether it was Bitcoin mining. I met people from the TVI community. Literally, their entire business was Bitcoin mining. I met people, their literal whole business, which I shouldn't be too surprised by this, was creating NFTs, selling NFTs on OpenSea and whatnot. There were heaps of traders. Every single person I came in contact with was substantially successful. And it was quite it was quite a unique experience for me, because I have not been in one place where where everyone was all about crypto, and not just all about crypto. They actually had legitimate experience and results in the industry, and that kind of, if I'm to be honest, Zach, that kind of surprised me, because before that event, I didn't know trader vid investments too well, in the sense of like the business model and what you guys do internally. I'm so busy at Digital Surge doing what I do. I didn't really like check out in detail what you guys do internally. You have like a private Discord channel and all this type of stuff. I didn't really check that out. When I was meeting these people, I was like, it was actually confusing, in the sense of, why are there so many successful people? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Because my experience with like these paid subscription things, I've always seen them, honestly speaking, I've always seen them as scams. I've just like, this is such BS. Like, I just see this stuff and they're talking like, oh yeah, they're doing technical analysis and blah, blah, blah. I was like, look, and price alerts. That's the biggest thing that I always thought was a scam. I was like, come on, price alerts. Like, if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. All you have to do is just follow these price alerts, which is funny. The amount of people that you can tell them this is exactly what you need to do and you'll win, and they just don't do it, is a whole nother story. But I just wanted to clarify just my personal interaction with TVI members. Everyone was really successful in their own right, and that was very surprising to me. And it was a very awesome community to kind of touch in, like actually meeting people, that multiple people making a living off creating NFTs and building businesses around NFTs, crypto mining, having mining warehouses and stuff in Australia and all this type of stuff. It was awesome. Anyway, I just had to share that. But I wanted to go in, I wanted to reverse, so people can kind of know a little bit about you, Zach, what drives you, what motivates you, why you started Trader Vids Investments. And then from there, we'll kind of transition into what makes Trader Vids Investments unique. What do you guys do? And, maybe people who, so people just have a better understanding of like, why do people join a paid subscription kind of education platform for crypto and stocks? What's the point of it? What's the value in it? And hopefully we're also going to talk about what's happening in the market. What's happening in the market now and of recent. There's some crazy stuff going on. We've got the market crashing. We've got Bitcoin going almost sub 20K. It's wild. We've got Luna crashing. We've got exchanges falling apart. We've got it all going on. What the hell's happening?
We'll unpack it. We're
going to talk about all those things. So it's going to be super exciting. I'm going to share my insight from behind the scenes as well at Digital Surge. And I'm so excited to hear, you guys go knee deep, or neck deep, I should say, in technical analysis and fundamental analysis and all these types of things. So I'm quite excited. That's going to be a big part of what we talk about. But first, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the origin story of Zach. We won't go all the way from the day that you were born. We won't go from the time that you came from your mother's womb, but pretty close to it.
School. All right. Before we get into that, I just want to touch on the community, and it's really cool that you recognize that and you picked that up at this event. We've been so fortunate. Sorry,
I said I was skeptic.
Well, yeah, there you go. Well, I hope it answered your skepticism there. But we've been really fortunate with how the business, grew from the start, because we didn't really do any marketing for a long time. It was all word of mouth. And so the community sort of grew from, there's like 1 to 2 degrees of separation. And from that, we created like a community of like completely like-minded people. And this is, I guess, why we've been really fortunate to have such a strong bond with our members. And it's because, there's been, when you start going too wide, I think in the beginning, you start, pulling people. No, it's kind of like we have a no dickhead policy. I guess it's kind of worked out to be.
Nice.
And
it's very Australian.
Yeah, if anyone does come in like that, I guess they do get weeded out quite quickly, and they recognize that this is not the way to act in the community. We've built this business around collaboration. We've built this business around helping each other, and it's really beautiful to watch. Even when the markets are going south, everyone's got their back, and like I've never seen so many people so calm, even when all this chaos is going on around us. So we're very fortunate to have some really great leaders in the space, like what you're saying, and it's makes for a really great culture inside. But again, going back to your question, the origin.
Tell us the origin.
So yeah,
give me a little, just a real little sneaky little snap, kind of brief overview of was there anything strange or unique that stood out when you were a kid, primary, high school, anything, any signs of this entrepreneurialness inside of you?
Yeah, look, I guess starting back with my investing, I first started to invest when I was 16. That was when I placed my first position with Dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was. I saved up $500 through working with him. I used to work every weekend, sweeping floors of his workshop. He's a diesel mechanic, and fixing trucks, being a bit of a grease monkey. So that was sort of where my first sort of I guess drive came from. Dad was an absolute workhorse.
Wow.
One of the craziest work ethics I've ever seen.
Dad? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Dad.
What did he do?
Well, he had run a truck dealership. So nice. Yeah, he had about 40 people working for him there, but then also had a couple other businesses, and like it was just
like,
I mean, to his own detriment.
Come on, brag a bit about your dad. Why are you saying his work ethic was so crazy? What did you say?
Oh, this guy would, and he still doesn't. He's almost 60. He gets up at all hours of the morning, doing call outs for trucks. He'll get up at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. He doesn't sleep for 24 hours. And he just goes to the ends of the earth to get the job done. Wow. He's a can-do man. He's a fix-it man, and I guess it's something that I always admired was his work ethic. Just seeing that no matter what, he'd get the job done. Wow. When I'm looking back, I'm admiring that. I guess it's one thing I'd like to do better was work a little bit smarter, and because I saw him trade his time for money. Yep. And time is like the most precious commodity like on earth. And I think there's ways to get your money working for you. And I guess that was kind of where, when I found investing, that it's all started to like make sense. And it wasn't until I started earning more. I used to wake up and check my account in the morning, and I'd found out that I'd made more while I was sleeping than what I would, in the whole week.
Hang on. How old were you when this first happened?
Oh, this is sort of like fast forwarding a little bit now to probably like 2019.
Gotcha.
When I really started getting back into investing after having a bit of time off, but. That was when it all started to click. Because I always knew there was better ways of making money and than exchanging time and hard work and being able to get money working for you. Sure, like starting a business, as you know, it's you can't just sit back and we do silly hours here, but it's having other vehicles working alongside of you that are working for you, so you don't have to.
Yeah. I just you said something interesting, but just before I get there, if we get to 20 likes, I'm going to give $50 away to one viewer. So share this video, share it right now. Everyone like it. The second it gets to 20 likes, we'll announce shortly. One random person is watching, $50 deposited in your Digital Surge account. $50, easy money.
Not there's a few beers tonight. The first round on you.
Upvote this thing, like this thing. I want to say, you said, okay, you've been you've been seeing your dad work just straight donkey mode, workhorse mode.
Yeah.
He's working. You're saying you were young, you're around 16. You were trying to save up for your first $500 to invest. When you started first working, sweeping floors or anything, was there at all a moment clicking? Like, because you told me you're saving up, you were working specifically to save up to put a trade down. Is that correct? That's what you were saying, right?
Well, that was my main focus, was because I saw Dad starting to invest, and he started having a bit of success there, and so that's when I first wanted to get involved with what he was doing. Mind you, that I did lose all that money. That $500.
Yeah, of course.
It's completely gone. That stock does not exist anymore. It's kind of, I still remember it. It was like it was called Centro. It was kind of like a Westfield shopping center stock.
Oh, okay.
And I remember checking it, and it was non-existent. I didn't mean.
Sorry, Zach. I'm just. I want to see if there's something that I'm just trying to dig into.
Sure.
When you were sweeping those floors, were you like, I can't just work a job for the rest of my life? Is that where you were at mentally?
Yeah, like I knew, I didn't know the solution for it yet, because all I'd ever seen was trading time, for money and doing stupid hours. And so I didn't know exactly, I hadn't been exposed to possibilities yet. It was still early on, but I knew there was something else. I think what I always wanted to do was to help people in some regards. And that's when I actually started. I got a Bachelor of Science. I was actually going into medicine, because I thought I could, help out people in that regards. And so I finished my science degree, and towards the end of that, I realized that I probably wasn't fit to study for another 7 years to start practicing what I wanted to practice. And so I thought I could make more of a mark on the world by going out on my own and doing something. And it was towards the end of my uni days, I started getting quite heavy. I was playing soccer at quite a high level, in Australia. And then after I got injured, I finished that off, and I started putting on a lot of weight. And I ended up reaching 120 kilos, 121 kilos. So I was quite a large boy.
Started looking like a soccer ball.
I looked like a soccer ball, yeah, from kicking around to looking like one. And and then I sort of went on a health journey myself, and I started. I ended up losing about 40 kilos.
Whoa!
Yeah, and so that was sorry.
I said I wish you brought before and after photos. That's mind blowing.
I can actually show you. I can show you a before. I'll show you a 120 kilo photo. I won't show you mine. Do you want to see it?
Yeah. Show us.
Oh, is that not going to come up well on this?
If you hold it close to the camera, I'm sure.
It's let me see if I can find one. Yeah. Anyway, so that was. Here we go.
That's crazy. Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive, bud.
Yeah. So it was my journey through there where I realized, and going through what I went through, feeling how I felt when I was at that weight, it was having a big impact on my life. And so I figured that I learned so much, and I wanted to help other people going on that journey as well. And so, I ended up joining a gym and running, I was like a change agent there, ended up working across running 11 gyms. And so just helping, hundreds and hundreds of people on a similar journey to what I went through. So it was cool being able to be relatable. And I guess just having that empathy, because I've kind of been in their shoes before. And so that was where I transitioned to helping people with their health, and going through what I went through, I guess. And then now to what I'm doing. When I was first getting into finance, I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to be able to have impact like I was able to back then, and like I wanted to when I was going through medicine.
So Zach, how did you go from this success of like helping hundreds of people lose weight, change their lives, which is I mean, that's no laughing matter. As I'm sure you're well aware, that's literally helping save lives. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people are in some really tough mental
Hmm.
state of minds, and it can be so hard to get out of that situation on your own. Like,
Yeah.
it's not an easy feat. Anyone who stays in shape might not understand like how difficult it is to get out of that, because it's beyond just losing weight and getting in shape. It's completely changing your mentality and digging out of like a very, very dark place for a lot of people. So I'm just wondering, how did you go from that and then having a lot of success helping so many people there to like this financial journey? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. How did that transition?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like what you're saying then, like the journey for health is 80% nutrition, 20% training, and 100% mindset.
Nice.
The same thing, and that same thing transitions across to trading and investing as well. This whole game is 100% mindset as well.
Yep.
Yeah, there's skills. Yeah, there's picking up TA, FA, all these things here. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to your mindset.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because that governs everything you do, like your self-belief, your your limiting beliefs, your values, your psychology, the way you control your emotions, your discipline. These all dictate everything, every move that you make, what you put in your mouth, what trade you take, what trade you don't take, what, your FOMO selling, all these things here, it all comes down to your mindset. I guess being able to help people with their health, I guess it was a transition into then helping people with their wealth. And in between the stage of me getting back into like the finance world, I sort of went through a fair bit of financial struggle myself. And I got to witness, just like I was when I was 120 kilos, I got to feel that same pain being in financial struggle.
Wow.
And it was I started working, I got a job in working in the Forex markets, in a company in Melbourne here. And it was absolutely incredible. Opened my eyes back up to investing and seeing these guys on the floor, like making silly money. And I was just like, whoa, what is going on here? I remember a story, like this guy was out shopping with his girlfriend, and he just literally placed a trade while he was out shopping, and he was able to buy her like this handbag that she wanted, purely based off a trade that he made on the spot. And it was like,
that's crazy.
I was like, how is this possible? Like somebody could earn money that quickly, doing something that I would have to work, a whole fortnight for.
Yep.
Like it didn't make it made perfect sense. But it was just like something I hadn't really been exposed to for a long time. And I think that's when my eyes started to open around the power of, getting your money working for you. And like, there's better ways than just trading time for money like this.
I'm quite interested. You've said that statement like heaps of times. Trading your time for money, trading your time for money, trading your time for money. Where does that did that come from? Like just those early days of you as a kid looking at your dad and he's just like working. Is that where it comes from? Is that like I just want to point this out because like sometimes talking to smart people, they don't realize how unique some things they say are. And so I try to just be like, well, hang on, just like take it easy there, champ. Because that's not a normal thought. That's not something that just pops into someone's head. That's a thing that 99% of people on the earth haven't even thought about, let alone understand. So it's like, do you even know where that came from? Like, Did it literally just like pop in your head when you're just looking at your dad working hard and you're like, I don't want to just like work for my time or like, make money based on just time?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I saw what it did to probably. I saw what it did to the relationship that he had with mum. This going quite deep, but
Okay.
yeah, like I saw was quite detrimental to their relationship at the end of the day, and I think that's for me. It made me realize that there's got to be a better way than risking,
Jeez.
everything else in your life. So I guess. Yeah, I guess that's probably why it's ingrained as well. I don't want to let it get to that point. And I also want to do what I love as well. I want to make sure, and that's why I feel like, being able to have vehicles like this gives you the ability to, go out and do what you truly are passionate about, and not being stuck in something that you have to do just for the sake of doing it to put food on the table. And that's why I'm so passionate about this space, because it can give people, I don't like to say freedom, but because that's we're not allowed to say that in the financial industry, but it's it gives you a degree of flexibility, I guess,
that's a good way of putting it,
to do things that you're actually passionate about and that you've wanted to do since you're a little kid, I guess. And that's why this whole culture of we've never had a better opportunity for like life-changing wealth for the average person. Like everybody's got access to a phone. Everybody has access. Well, 3-4 billion people on this planet have access to the internet. And the playing field is now evening out. We have access to the tools that the big guys have always had access to, that we've never had the ability to touch. And so there's no reason why there should be this disparity, this huge gaps between the ultra high net worth, the guys in the suits, and everyday people. And I think there's been these stigmas around investing for so long, around it being too complicated, and all this jargon that gets thrown around, and it is for blokes in suits. But crypto's is here for the people. And so sure, there's big players involved. Big players are involved in every single market that has ever existed and ever will exist. But the difference is we have the ability to take control back of that with the tools, with exchanges, with how easy it is now to get involved. And I think it's awesome to see. It becomes a lot more inclusive, this whole space.
Yeah. I mean, what you're saying is, it's deep. It's really amazing to hear that, because there's a lot of people who start something, maybe with good intentions, but then as something becomes successful, those intentions change and their morals change. And a lot of people always say money changes them, but I've always said that that's actually wrong. Money doesn't change people. Money amplifies who you really are. And just hearing you speak, it's so genuine, and it's really awesome to hear. And it gets me wondering, like, well, how did you come across? Well, firstly, like, what was the story of the inception of TVI? Like, did you already know Anthony, and I think the other co-founder is Richard? Did you already know those other two guys before, or did you just meet up in a bar and let's make this happen, or like, what happened?
Yeah, look, to be honest, a lot of the things I've spoken about today, I've never actually spoken about out loud as well. So you're doing a good job to get it out of me. So we all met at the gym, funnily enough. Yeah.
Fun fact. I'm sorry. I'm selfish to a degree. I met my best friend at the gym.
Yeah.
Dude, gym's the place, right?
The gym is like a hunting ground for finding people and friends that are like you. Like if people are at the gym and they're there consistently, they're there because they want to improve themselves and they want to grow as a human being. So I find like so many of my friends have been from just people I've met at the gym.
I can tell at the meetup there, everyone was yoked.
yeah. There's some good rigs up there. But so I think just it's a place for so many like-minded people to meet up, to that. And
so you sorry, but like you met like what? You just saw these two guys and were like, let's start a business? Like what? Did you meet them both at the same time? Did they already know? Like what? Where was the connection?
Sure. So Richard I met probably 6 years ago at the gym. Okay. And Anthony I met probably 8-9 years ago at the gym. So
same gym or different gyms?
Different gym. Fitness first for Richard and a gym called Evolve for Anth. So Anth and I have been living together for the last 2 years. Right. Anthony and I also date cousins.
Like your own cousins?
Both from New Zealand. Yeah. Sorry? Not our own cousins. Not our own cousins.
I mean, you were just saying that. Yeah, okay, so
so we're not dating our own
people that you're dating, they're cousins.
They're cousins. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So clarification is important.
It is. Yes. Thank you for clearing that up for our.
I don't want people misunderstanding you guys.
Gets pretty freaky. Yeah. So
that's wild. Well, hang on. Yeah. How did that happen?
Well, it was at my birthday a few years ago that I was already dating my girlfriend, and her cousin was there at the party, and these two, seriously, they just, I don't know, they started talking, and all of a sudden they went off to a little table next to the main table, and it was like they were speed dating, and everyone was just looking at these guys going, what the hell is going on there? These guys are just fireworks everywhere. Wow. And then, sure enough, 2 months later, these guys were dating, and we all moved in together because it was the start of the lockdown. And it was back in 2020 is when the business started. So if it wasn't for us living together, I don't know if I don't think the business would have happened.
Wow.
We all started. It was through one of our posts that Richard sort of came into it, and we started talking about it was something to do with our investing. We put a post on our Instagram, and then we all decided to catch up at the dog park one day. Over lockdown, this is when we weren't really allowed to see anybody, so we all had our masks on, standing there in the middle of the park in winter with our dogs, and we decided that we were going to form like a trading group, because we were getting quite, I guess there's a lot of people around us at the time who were losing their jobs. A lot of our friends, there's a lot of people looking for more ways to make money, and we didn't find there was many communities out there that I don't know, like that we wanted to be in, or would like be the right fit for what we were looking for. And so rather than doing our own research, we sort of formed like a little trading group where each week would catch up over Zoom.
Just between like you three guys?
Yeah.
And so all of you were trading at this point, like
So you were investing at this point. Yeah, we were. Nice. And so we'd go away, do our own research, bring it back, present it to each other, and that's what we kind of realized, like the power of like numbers and doing this together. And because we were just before like living together and things like that, we were just doing our own research, and it was just we started getting some good results doing that, and then it sort of like took off from there. And we're like, hang on, like if we're doing this together, why not? And there's nothing really anything out there like this. Why don't we, just create something for our friends and see what happens? And so we started building some education around it as well. And this, by the way, we were working full-time jobs at this stage. So this was just a bit of a pipe dream. It was just going to be a bit of a side hustle and just to see what would sort of come of it. And so we built a website, we built a platform, we started building courses, and we started growing a community on Instagram. And we didn't really tell them that anything was coming, but we just started sharing ideas and our tips and tricks and insights into the market. And we started building like quite a decent following on our Instagram. And then it was about February back in 2021. We finally launched a stock education business. That's what it was always intended to be. Now it wasn't until it was kind of like the end, probably like mid 2020. I started like getting into crypto. So it was decent timing there. And then towards the end of the year, I really started getting into crypto, going really deep. And that's when we started to sort of get the business prepared for crypto, because we were like, hey, I think this is going to take off. And we started transitioning the business from just being a stock education business to being a crypto education business. So we were quite fortunate with the timing. We were sort of around where the bull market really started in early 2021. And the business sort of, I remember the first day we launched is the day I resigned.
Really?
I resigned. I literally picked up the phone on the day we launched. I probably got too excited. I was like, "Nah, I'm doing this full time now."
All in.
I was fortunate because with the backing with crypto, and this is why I'm passionate about what I'm doing as well, because it allowed me to be able to give the backing to follow my dreams, if you will, and get out of a 9-to-5 that I wasn't enjoying. And
now you're just in a 5-to-5.
Now I'm in a 5-to-5. Working from a 9-to-5 to a 5-to-9. Switch it over.
Running your own business, that's the way it is. But obviously, you absolutely love what you're doing.
Absolutely love it. I would not change it for the world. And so, it was a beautiful journey last year into business and entrepreneurship, and finally, it's something I've just been so ready for so long to start a business. I just never found the right medium.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just saying, this is crazy. This is your first business? Was it the first business for all three of you? Yeah, it was. Yeah. You guys blew up like in the first 12 months. It's been a roller coaster ride.
Yeah. Look, I was it is our first business, and I've been ready for so long. I've done I sort of did all the legwork beforehand. It was just finding the medium. I tried to start a couple of things like, social media marketing agency. I had a couple little products, gym products, but like it never really felt right. I didn't feel like I was able to make the impact that I wanted to do, like that I knew I could have. So it just never really stuck. But then when this came along, it was like, this is where I need to be. This is where I need to be. And I think we all just gelled really well. We all came from different backgrounds, marketing backgrounds, finance backgrounds, sales backgrounds. And so it was able to, we're able to put all our skills together. We're all very different. We're all very, very different.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
Yeah. You've seen us. You know what we're like.
Yeah. Maybe do you want to dig in a little bit of like what does TVI offer? Like why are people coming to TVI to the amount that they are? And more importantly, you guys had a huge retention rate after your first year. Like not only did all these people sign up, but after the year was up, almost all of them signed up again. So
Yeah.
you have to be doing something right. Like, what's going on? Because I've logged into the platform, I've looked, and there's honestly so much there. There's materials, there's education, there's this, there's that, there's information, there's like all this stuff. There's the Discord channel. Inside the channel, there's like a million things, and it's like there's so much going there, and it's all very active. But I don't even know fully like what are like the core things of what TVI is doing and what is keeping them around. Like, why do people keep on signing up?
So I guess we're built around education. I think a lot of companies who are built around, quick wins when the market turns like it has, they've got no real, I guess, reason for people to stay around, because if they're not making money off their trade signals, then why are they there? And so it's been our focus to put education first, to make people, to try and make people financially unbreakable so they can be around in this game for a long time. We're not here to be a flash in the pan. We want to grow with our members. We want them to grow and be around in this space for a long time. So I think going back to like just how our members have handled this whole saga, what's happened in the world right now, it's been incredible to see how mature they are, and the culture within.
Yeah.
And I think people love that. People want that community around them when things aren't going well. When you're doing this by yourself, it's hell scary. Like, you see the market drop like it does. If you've got no one to bounce ideas with, you're making irrational decisions. And I think that sort of that belonging that people have, a sense of belonging with our community, is really special. We're constantly evolving as a company, where we're doing a lot of really cool things in the background right now, and we've never really rested on our laurels. We're constantly looking to how we can improve things, always getting feedback, and just aiming to give the best customer experience. So
yeah, you were just talking about like, how the market's going at the moment, and I know like the amount of people that have messaged me, because I have like a lot of my friends use Digital Surge and so forth, and I talk to a lot of the Digital Surge customers myself personally. I run the Facebook group and whatnot, blah blah blah. A lot of them like personally DM me on Facebook, and they're like, what's happening, blah blah blah. I have friends literally asking like, is Digital Surge okay? Like, do I need to pull out my funds? I heard some exchange fell apart. And I'm telling them, like, look, guys, it's at the end of the day, the exchange is a business. It just means they're not running their business well. We're doing fine. Nothing to worry about. But in terms of outside of that, like, what's it been like seeing the community react in these current times? Because when you started, it was like the beginning of a bull run, and then just freaking a rocket ship. And then now the rocket ship's just crashing into the ground, which for those who've been around, none of this phases us. This has happened. It's part of the cycle. 2017 and before that and before that. And it's like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure there's been a lot of new people who came in at the top at the beginning of the bull run, and like they're still with TVI. So how has their journey kind of developed through? Like, how have you guys helped people kind of not panic in these times? Is it primarily the community aspect, or is it the education, or is it a mix of the things? Like, what's the biggest benefit to people being in that?
Yeah, so it's a couple of things. Yeah, education, community, at the end of the day, are the two biggest things here. But I guess it's understanding like market cycles and just how these markets actually work. And this is something that, like you said, it's not new to the crypto space. It feels new every time you're kind of in it. You forget, but you got to look back through history, look back, and it's just repeating itself. And every single time it has happened, we've come out on top. We have recovered. We've come back bigger, better, faster, stronger than ever. And I think we've educated people to see these bear markets as a positive thing. I'm pumped for this bear market. I really am, because like the bigger the crisis, the bigger the opportunities that come from it. So
I was just going to say that's the biggest difference between mature traders and immature traders.
Yeah.
Understanding what you just said, like that's what it comes down to. Those who've been around, they understand the game. When it's a bloodbath and it's a bear market, people are going, okay, game on. Like when everything's crashing, they're like, sweet, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, they're like, it's like the people who know, they're selling the tops of bull runs. People who don't know what they're doing, they're buying the tops of bull runs. And they're happy and they're like, oh, euphoric. And they're like, oh, wow, this is awesome. This is so cool. 50% in one day. But the people who experience, they're like, oh, red alert, red flags. Maybe I should sell now, dip out, chill, sit back for a while, sit back for 6 months, 9 months. We'll see what's going on. It's like it can take years and years and years to learn these things on your own. And I'm a testament of that. Like I learned everything on my own. I've been in crypto since 2017. I went through the crazy ass bull run in 2017, and my silliness, I was leverage trading on like plus 500. I was putting like my life savings maxed out. I didn't know anything about fees or this or that, or I didn't even know anything about margin calls or like, oh, you need a certain percentage in your account. And I'd put money in. Dude, I didn't sleep. Like I'd put money in and it'd be like in like 10 minutes, it's like $900 profit. I'm like, holy crap. I have like all these alerts and I'm waking up literally every 30 minutes. I'm like, oh shit. And then the next minute I'm like, oh sweet. And then I'm like, oh shit. And it's just like, it was crazy. And then like most mornings I wake up, I've been annihilated. My account's wiped out. I go in full depression. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? And then I was like, oh, give it one more go. And I just put like $500 and it's like, it shoots up, make $5,000. I'm like, oh, I'm back. And then it's just like, it's been insane. So I can only imagine like people who are on their own. And this is coming from someone like I spent not hours, like hundreds of hours, potentially thousands of hours from actually easily thousands and thousands of hours from 2017 to now, just learning. And it's like, it's only in the recent maybe 12 months where I've gotten to a point where it's like prices don't faze me. I understand the market, this, that. I know when to buy, I know when to sell. I have an understanding of hold levels, resistant levels, this, that, distribution, accumulation, all these types of things. And it's like, cool, I'm chilling. It doesn't matter what's happening. Nothing phases. I know when to DCA. I know when to sell the tops. I know when to buy the bottoms. I understand this stuff. It's easy, but it took me years on my own. And for the most part, I didn't have anyone to run it by. It was just like learning by mistakes. So that kind of like what you're talking about with TVI, it's I'm assuming you don't have those problems.
Yeah, look, and like what you're saying there, it's a massive, like this is going back to the psychology of building wealth and being in this financial game. It's really tough to go against the grain. Everything in your gut is telling you to go with the masses, is to listen to the news. It's to fall in line with, what everything else is doing. That's and that's the opposite of what we teach our members. It's to go against the grain, to go against market sentiment, and because this is what the big players are doing, and so it's learning to play the same game that they are, and it's I guess that's where this whole sentiment from the community really comes in handy, because you just got to turn on your Discord, jump in, and you'll see people chill. When the market's on fire, going around, it's like we got people who are buying, panic buying rather than panic selling.
Yeah, wow.
It's like this is cheap. Like things are, and this is why we look at things going on sale. If your favorite car goes on sale 60%, can you a nice Porsche Macan, it goes on sale. You imagine how many people are going to be rushing in to get that? Yet when your favorite asset, Bitcoin goes down 60%, where's the lineups for people to get in? People don't see it the same way like they see material things. And there's no reason not to look at it like that, because that's exactly what it is. It's a discount. It's a Black Friday sale. Literally. To get and everyone wants to buy when everything's at the top. Everyone 69,000. And we see it with our community as well. Like when members everyone, like there's a lot of people who want to join when the market is booming, but this is the best time to educate yourself and to equip yourself with the skills, because this is where the millionaires, this is where the success stories are made. The success stories are made in bear markets. They're not made when people were buying when Bitcoin's at 60,000.
Facts.
They're literally built in bear markets right now, being smart. And so I think like trying to learn while the market's going ballistic, like you're talking about your experience, it's just out of this world. You've got so much going on. You're hearing all these success stories and you go on FOMO, and then you're trying to learn at the same time. It's like you want to be going into this next bull market with a strategy. You want to, know how to control your emotions. You want to know, how to find undervalued projects. You want to know how to do your own research, how to avoid scams, how to, play this crypto space safely. If you've got this sort of skill set behind you when you're entering the next bull market, like, damn, you're setting yourself up in the best way possible.
I love it.
So
no, I was just going to say, I know the viewers are probably eagerly wanting to get your opinion on kind of what's happening a little bit on the market. Before I get there, I just want to say, everyone, look, we all pay for Netflix, Disney, this, that, subscriptions left, right, and center to just entertain yourself. There's a link in the comment to TVI with a special Digital Surge discount, 20% off a monthly subscription or even an annual subscription. Do yourself a favor, click that link, put that discount code in, give it a go. Just give it a go. Worst case scenario, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But just, and I'm not saying this to we don't get anything out of this. It's like, trust me, my journey of 5-6 years and, even longer in investing, I'm telling you, it takes time and the right people to master your emotions, understand principles, understand TA, all these things. Even in business, it's like you can spend all your life trying to figure out how to make $1 million business, a 7-figure, 8-figure business. Or you can literally just find someone who's already done it and just listen to them, and they'll teach you the principles at play that will make these things happen, rather than doing it on your own. So it's like, worst case, you have not much to lose. You're already paying heaps on subscriptions and whatnot and this and that. Do yourself a favor, invest in yourself. Secondly, I wanted to just talk. Secondly, if we get 20 likes right now before the video ends, 20, I think we're at 11 or 12. If we get 20 likes, I'll give $100 away to a person. $100. Okay, take it or leave it. Share this out. Even if it's 20 likes past being live, okay? Even so, if you share it on your socials right now, if you get your friends to like it, just copy the link, post it, spam it, send it to everyone, and you can win $100. All right, $100, and just leave a comment, by the way, in the comments, so we can follow up on you and get you that money. In saying that, Mr. Zach, tell us. Let's keep it just to Bitcoin specifically. What is your prediction, Mr. Zach? Are we going to zero? Is everything falling apart? What's going on?
We are at a very, very strong historical support and also technical support as well. 20K was the peak of our previous bull run. Now, going historically, we actually haven't gone below in previous bear markets, we haven't gone below the previous cycles all-time highs before. So to break below 20 would be a big deal, but it's definitely not out of the question. We have also dropped historically 85% from all-time highs in previous runs back in 2017 and 13. We're currently at about 65% down. 85% would take us to around 11K. So I think it's not out of the question at all. I think the market it's not ready to push much higher in my opinion. I think there's a lot of global economic factors that we need to get on top of first, such as, you know, the inflationary rate, before we start to, you know, before investors start to gain faith in riskier assets, and then we can start to move higher again. But there also is the flip side of things, where Bitcoin becomes the hedge for inflation. When people get fed up in the dollar, they get fed up with their dollars floating away, you know, with this 8.6% in the States inflation rate, which is ridiculous. So even storing money in the bank right now is a, you know, you're losing out. Bitcoin being, you know, having its scarcity is something that people could turn to. And if that does happen, that could be a narrative that really starts to push us ahead of time, earlier than what we were expecting. So watching market cycles really closely, watching crypto cycles really closely, and yeah, we'll see where this goes. But I think once it hits a bottom range, I think it'll stay flat for a while. So it'll give ample time to dollar cost average in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe just quickly, does anyone have any questions for Zach, maybe in particular? And just on that note, while questions are coming in, they're going to pop up on our screen and we can answer them. Just on the note of inflation, for those that don't know, like, so Zach's saying, you know, they've announced that inflation, I didn't even know it went up to 8%. Last time I heard it, they're saying around 5%. But even on that note,
talking about in the US. Sorry.
In the US, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't stay too up to date with it, but I think like 6 months ago, 9 months ago, it was like around 5. I'm just saying, I can't believe now they're announcing 8. Just keep in mind, like with governments, when they announce inflation, they manipulate the numbers to come up with the best possible number they can possibly muster out. And they come out with freaking almost 10%. Now, to understand inflation quickly, this is very important. And this is not to panic of like, oh, I got to take all my money out of my bank account. But it is something that you should think about with the amount of money that you are planning to invest in something. That shouldn't necessarily just sit in cash for years. You know, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. It's not going to be the end of the world. But stay away from like just piling money in your bank account. I mean, do your own research, talk to a financial advisor. Not financial advice either. But in saying that, inflation is based on technically what are the most important things for you? What are the most important things that you buy? So if just because the government's saying, oh, inflation's 5% or 10%, that's almost irrelevant to everyone. Because the reality is in Australia, if you like, how much did it cost to fill up your petrol a year and a half ago versus now? It's almost 100% increased. Literally almost 100 freaking percent. That means inflation in Australia for petrol is not 5%. It's 100%. And we know food has gone up at least 50% in the past 12 months. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Maybe you just have so much money in your bank account, you don't even realize when you just swipe, tap, tap, tap. It's gone up literally 50% in the past 12 months. So if you think that what's happening in the world is a joke right now, it's not. It's freaking falling apart. And you need to get your money invested smartly and correctly. It's not a joke. Don't freak out. I'm a bit extra. But what I'm saying is factual. And this is the importance of something like Bitcoin and smart investments. And please be careful of shit coins. Don't throw your money in a shit coin, especially in a bear market. When it's a bull run, it's like, yeah, you can get lucky or whatever. But, you know, be careful. And that's another value of like having experts who do this for a full-time job nonstop, like Zach from TVI. They're looking into these things. They're providing not just the TA, but they're also providing the fundamental analysis. And that's very important to know that. So just quickly, Stephen Roberts asks, Zach, what percentage of your savings would you recommend a person to put in crypto as non-financial advice?
Yeah. So Stephen, that's a great question. And it's different for everyone. It really depends on your financial position. It depends on your appetite for risk as well. Some people can't stomach going through volatility. Yes, you have the opportunity for great wealth with crypto, but there's also a lot of volatility that comes with that. So look, it's, I think having a small portion in there to maybe start off with. Look, I don't want to tell you a percentage wise, but then you can sort of build it up as you become more confident, as you do your own research. For me, because I have done so much research in the space and I'm so confident with where it's going, it's given me the ability to, I guess, put a little bit more in than in the crypto space than maybe like an average person who's just starting. But I think definitely having some exposure to this market is a smart idea, without giving too much financial advice there.
Sweet. Thanks, Zach. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all good.
You know what time it is, everyone. Before we go, we have these awesome Bitcoins, collectible premium Bitcoins. This is the Bitcoin and this custom matte black Ethereum coin. Link down below. Ozpost shipping, free shipping for orders over, I think, 100. Express shipping. We also ship to New Zealand. Check them out. High quality. Awesome. Just had to throw that in there. I'm the head of marketing, guys. Like, what do you expect from me? Come on. I'm not doing this for free, people. We sell these like crazy, by the way. So many customers buy this. We sold like 5 or 6 of them last night at like 11 p.m. The quality of these is serious. It's heavy. It's legit. It's awesome. And a custom design. This I picked out myself. There's nothing on the planet Earth with this Ethereum design. It is a matte black with a silver lining design. It's freaking awesome. They come out of these plastic containers as well. This is just a protective thing.
Mate, we need some of those for our office as well.
I'll send you some, Zach. I'll send you some.
Nice.
I'll ship them off. But link below. And we also have Ledger's Nano S, Ledger Nano X. So if you need cold storage, and we do have the best prices in Australia, and that is a fact. Any last words from you, Zach?
Nah, just stay safe out there, guys. Stay connected with a community. Keep learning, keep educating yourself, and make sure you're ready for when the market picks up again.
Thanks, Zach. I appreciate your time so much. It has
Likewise.
been a privilege talking to you. A great chat. We went a little bit deep, and it's great. I hope the people valued it. Be sure to upvote, comment in, and if we get to above 20 likes, I will pick one person who has left a comment and send them $100 right into your back pocket. Tune in every Friday, 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We're going to continue to have amazing, interesting guests like Zach. Once again, thank you, Zach. And lastly, for those who are interested in checking out TraderVids Investments, the link is pinned at the top in the comments section. Be sure to check that out and use the discount code. And it is what it is. And enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend.